Hello everyone, and welcome back to another video from our channel, Olden Goldens. In this video, we'll be highlighting American celebrities who have passed away in the last few days, along with other notable figures from around the world. Before we proceed, we kindly ask you to show your love and support by giving this video a like. It means a lot to us.
Frankie Beverly, the influential soul singer who was a founder of the hit-making funk band Maze, died Tuesday, September 10th. He was 77. His death was announced by family members on Facebook. A cause and location of death were not disclosed. He lived his life with pure soul, as one would say, and for us, no one did it better. The family statement read, in part, he lived for his music, family, and friends. Born Howard Stanley Beverly on December 6, 1946, Beverly in 1970 formed the band that then was called Raw Soul in his hometown of Philadelphia. He and the band soon moved to California where, by the mid-1970s, they came to the attention of Motown legend Marvin Gaye, who invited the group to serve as his opening act on a tour. Gaye also suggested the name change from Raw Soul to Maze. In 1976, Maze signed with Capitol Records and released debut album Maze featuring Frankie Beverly the following year. The LP yielded several R&B hits, including Happy Feelin's, While I'm Alone, and Lady of Magic. The debut would be the first of Maze's 9 gold albums through 1992. In addition to the first 3 singles, other hits over the years would include Joy and Pain, Golden Time of Day, Southern Girl, The Look in Your Eyes, Before I Let Go, We Are One, Back in Stride, Can't Get Over You, and The Morning After. Beverly and Maze enjoyed a resurgence in recognition in 2019 when their hit 1981 hit Before I Let Go, written and produced by Beverly, was covered by Beyoncé as a bonus track on Homecoming, the live album. This is one of the high points of my life, Beverly said in an interview with Billboard about Beyoncé's cover. He added, I feel bigger than ever. I feel like I have a huge smash out there. It's definitely a blessing. Other people have done my songs, but the way she did this was in a class of its own. James Earl Jones, the revered actor who voiced Star Wars villain Darth Vader, starred in Field of Dreams, and many other films and Broadway shows and is an EGOT winner, died this morning at his home in Dutchess County, New York. He was 93. Widely regarded as among the world's great stage and screen actors, Jones is one of the few entertainers to have won the EGOT, though his Academy Award was honorary. Jones has received 2 Primetime Emmy Awards, a Daytime Emmy, a Spoken Word Grammy Award in 1977, and 3 Tony Awards. The actor amassed nearly 200 screen credits during his brilliant 60-year career, starting some early 60s TV guest roles, and Stanley Kubrick's 1964 classic Dr. Strangelove, or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb. He probably is best known for his voice role as the dastardly Darth Vader in George Lucas's original Star Wars trilogy, Star Wars: The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. He also reprised the villainous role in Star Wars, Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, Rogue One, A Star Wars Story, Star Wars, Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker in TV's Obi-Wan Kenobi and Star Wars Rebels. Movie fans will remember such chilling, immortal Vader quotes as, When I left you, I was but the learner. Now I am the master. I find your lack of faith disturbing. And of course, no, I am your father. Also among Jones's best-loved roles is Terrence Mann, the reclusive 1960s author who reluctantly teams with Kevin Costner's Ray Kinsella to unlock the latter's visions of baseball lore in Field of Dreams. Based on the 1982 novel Shoeless Joe, the film from writer-director Phil Alden Robinson yanked, at heartstrings with its sweet nostalgia, high-concept plot, father-son dynamics, and general excellence. It earned 3 Oscar nominations including Best Picture. It lost to Driving Miss Daisy, a film whose Broadway adaptation starred Jones as Hoke Colburn, the character played by Morgan Freeman on the big screen. Jones also voiced the Lion King's Mufasa in both the 1994 animated pick and 2019 hybrid remake. Among his dozens of other films are The Bingo Long Traveling All-Stars and Motor Kings, A Piece of the Action, Conan the Barbarian, Soul Man, Coming to America, The Hunt for Red October, Patriot Games, Sneakers, The Sandlot, Clear and Present Danger, Judge Dredd, Gang Related, and Coming Second America. He also lent his sonorous voice to the famous This Is CNN promo campaign for the cable news network and recurring as the narrator on Third Rock from the Sun. He also appeared on The Simpsons 3 times. Peter Renaday, a longtime and prolific voice actor best known as the voice of Rat Sensei Master Splinter in the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles TV series, died Sunday, September 8th at his home in Burbank, California. He was 89. News of his death was shared on social media by friend and Turtles co-star Townsend Coleman, who voiced the character of Michelangelo on the immensely popular generational Touchstone animated series of the 1980s to 1990s. A cause of death has not been determined, but TMZ cites law enforcement sources as having discovered an unresponsive Renaday during a welfare check at his home on Sunday. Natural causes are suspected. Pete was one of the most genuine, salt-of-the-earth people I have ever known, and I will miss him dearly, Coleman wrote on social media. I had the privilege of visiting with him a month ago, and he was as vibrant as ever. At 89, just as endearingly silly, smart, and talented as I've always known him to be. In addition to his role as Master Splinter, Renaday is also known for voicing the animatronic Abraham Lincoln, reciting the Gettysburg Address at Walt Disney World's The Hall of Presidents. He also voiced the animatronic bear characters Henry and Max at Disney World's original Country Bear Jamboree attraction. Renaday's nearly 200 other film and TV credits include a mix of both voice and live-action roles, including performances in such Disney animated features as The Aristocats, The Rescuers, and The Black Cauldron. Animated TV credits include Scooby-Doo and Scrappy-Doo, Alvin and the Chipmunks, The Transformers, The Real Ghostbusters, and Batman, the animated series. Live-action roles include performances in the 60s to 70s, fare such as Combat, The Love Bug, The Computer Wore Tennis Shoes, The Barefoot Executive, and The Apple Dumpling Gang Rides Again. Born Pierre Renaday on June 9, 1935 in New Iberia, Louisiana, Renaday was married to Florence Flo June Daniel from 1979 until her death on February 18, 2011. An executive secretary for 35 years in the music department of Walt Disney Studios, Florence Renaday was a featured soprano vocalist on the Disneyland Records 1973 album The Sounds of Christmas, which also included vocal work by her husband. Herbie Flowers, a veteran bass guitarist who worked with the likes of David Bowie, Elton John, Paul McCartney, and more, has died at the age of 86. While we knew and loved him as Uncle Herbie, his musical contributions have likely touched your lives as well, Flowers' niece's husband wrote online. He played bass on many of the songs from the golden age of rock. Throughout his decades-long career, the British musician most notably worked on tracks like Lou Reed's Walk on the Wild Side and Bowie's Space Oddity. He also contributed to Harry Nilsson's 1971 Nilsson Schmilsson. Not many of us get our own entry in Wikipedia as Herbie did, the family tribute continued. Herbie's musical contributions continued as he worked to involve children in music later in life. Herbie played a huge role in his niece Lorraine's life as a substitute father. Herbie walked her down the aisle at our wedding. She loved him dearly. I was blessed to have known him. We'll miss you, Uncle Herbie. Rock on. Born Brian Keith Flowers in 1938, he first began his tenure as a tuba bandsman in the Royal Air Force in the 1950s, where he served for 9 years. In the 60s, Flowers cemented his reputation as a session bassist, working for record producers like Shel Talmy, Steve Rowland, Mickey Most, and Tony Visconti. In 1969, he was one of the founding members of Blue Mink and played on Bowie's self-titled album. Per BBC, he is thought to have contributed to more than 500 hit albums by the close of the 70s. In the late 1970s, Flowers founded Sky, recording and performing with the band until 1995, during which the group released 7 albums. Following the breakup of the Beatles, Flowers worked on the solo albums of its members, including McCartney's 1984 Give My Best Regards to Broad Street, Harrison's Somewhere in England, and Starr's Stop and Smell the Roses. Other notable contributions include his work on John's Madman Across the Water in 1971, as well as Bowie's Diamond Dogs, which featured hit Rebel Rebel. His work with Bowie and Associates over the years is too long to list here, Bowie's estate wrote on Facebook in a tribute. Aside from his incredible musicianship over many decades, he was a beautiful soul and a very funny man. He will be sorely missed. Will Jennings, the two-time Oscar and Grammy-winning co-writer of the beloved Titanic theme, Celine Dion's My Heart Will Go On, has died at 80 in his Texan home, according to multiple reports. Though a cause of death was not identified, those close to the composer said he had been in declining health for a number of years. The prolific lyricist was also nominated for an Academy Award for Best Original Song for the tunes People Alone from The Competition and Up Where We Belong from An Officer and a Gentleman, the latter of which he won. In 2006, Jennings was inducted into the Songwriters Hall of Fame. In addition to his 2 Oscars, Jennings won 3 Grammys, My Heart Will Go On and Tears in Heaven, from 1992's Jennifer Jason Leigh starring cop drama Rush, for which he paired with Eric Clapton. He also won 2 Golden Globes for Best Original Song, for the Dion masterpiece in Up Where We Belong, which he co-wrote with Jack Nitzsche and Buffy Sainte-Marie. Born in Kilgore, Texas on June 27, 1944, Jennings began his Hollywood tenure with 1976's The Commitment, teaming afterward with composer Richard Kerr to pen the Barry Manilow #1 hit Looks Like We Made It. 2 years later, Manilow returned to the charts with the pair's Somewhere in the Night. The songwriter was also a frequent collaborator of Steve Winwood's, with whom he worked on several songs on the Brit Musicians album Arc of a Diver. The following year, they reunited to work on 1982's Talking Back to the Night, which included the hit Valerie. Their joint hits also spanned Higher Love and Roll With It, as well as Back in the High Life Again and Don't You Know What the Night Can Do. Jennings also wrote and had major hits with the likes of Whitney Houston, Dionne Warwick, Tim McGraw, Mariah Carey, King, Diana Ross, Faith Hill, and Jimmy Buffett, among others. Peter Wolf, former vocalist for the J. Geils Band and friend, wrote on social media in a tribute of the songwriter, "A lot of good ones gone. A sad time, the passing of Will Jennings, a maestro, brilliant mind, and a gentle spirit. Will shared his talents with me, ever patient and generous. He was a treasured friend and teacher, enriching my life in so many ways. It was an enormous honor to have worked with such a musical genius for so many years." To quote one of his favorite poets, W.B. Yeats, "Think where man's glory most begins and ends and say my glory was I had such friends." Breaking news of the day. Mr. T, famed for his roles in the A-Team and as a WWF wrestling legend, continues to inspire as a symbol of strength and resilience. Recently, he opened up about his victorious battle against cancer, declaring that his indomitable spirit has triumphed over the disease. Diagnosed with a rare form of T-cell lymphoma in 1995, he fought cancer as fiercely as any on-screen foe. Mr. T discovered the cancer after noticing a lump while removing an earring, which he described as his personalized cancer. Despite initial success with radiation, the disease returned aggressively, spreading throughout his body. Undeterred, he faced a challenging regimen of chemotherapy and interferon therapy, embodying his no-quit attitude throughout the battle. His unwavering mantra remained, "I pity the fool who just gives up." Mr. T's journey, marked by pain and perseverance, stands as a testament to his belief in fighting fiercely rather than surrendering to fate. Now, as a proud cancer survivor, he encourages others facing similar battles to live boldly and remain hopeful. "We can be living with cancer, not dying from it," he says, reminding everyone that resilience and determination are key to overcoming life's toughest challenges.